Spartacat fans, welcome to our midweek stream of the girls' second playoff game. Girls are getting ready to face off against the Hastings Raiders tonight. We are at the Burnsville Arena. I know it might look really nice with the wood ceiling and stuff, but they gave us the crappy rink tonight, so I'm kind of disappointed. I don't have a great spot to stream on the red line, so we're gonna have to be on one end or the other. I got the husband scoping out some locations here to see if we can get a little bit closer, but it's gonna be tough. I might move to the other end. I'll probably do a little shifting here in between periods to try to get the best shot, but unfortunately they just put us in the dinky ring, so. All right, girls are fired up. Everybody made it here tonight through the snowstorm. But unexpected blizzard conditions in the Twin Cities. And by the way, the most important part is we had a turnout at Bark, so just so everybody knows. Parents are prepped and ready to go. All right, 30 seconds here on the warm-up clock, and we'll get going here in just a minute. All right, so we'll do our best to zoom in onto the far end here. I mean, this is kind of a fun view, right? We don't get to see this close up every time. So girls, they got their bleacher side cheerleader Avery here on an injury as the girls head out to the ice. If we walk all the way around, can we get to like that side over there where the ref is standing by the red line? Can you check?
Well, there's a gate right there.
Can we get past the gate though? Can we sneak through?
It's all the way across.
All right, looks like we've got Kolslak, Erickson, Costain on the forward line, Saliga and Beckwith on D. This will be a little tough for me to see the lines. I'll see if I can hand off the video to somebody and I'll try to get a better view here. Spartacats taking in, looks like that's Kolslak trying to drive it into the neutral zone. Saliga now gets a piece of it. Kolslak maneuvering through a couple players. She's taken past the blue line, sends it over to Costain. Costain on the boards here, chips it over to Lunenburg, shot. And that gets saved by the tender. Puck comes back out to Spartacats zone. And we'll get a whistle there. That'll be a icing call. I think our clock might be off too. All right, we're adjusting the clock here. It's a 15-minute period here for the playoff game, so we're just adjusting that a little bit. We'll try to get it right on the stream for you folks. Lunenburg got the draw. Looks like we took a really quick line change here. That was like 10 seconds. Oh, shot on net. I think by Lunenburg, hot off the face-off. Now Weigel chips it in from the blue line. That comes back out, and Lunenburg on the chase. She'll pick it up just behind the net, passes over to Quant. Claire Eilertson now getting a piece of it behind the net. She'll bounce it off the boards to her sister, Kate. Hastings Raiders send it back behind the net. Quant now trying to chip this puck out. Quant. Oh, Hastings control. They center. Now Kate Eilertson looking to pass up to Lunenburg. Lunenburg chips it up to Claire. Hastings come back. They're driving up the middle. Quant gets a piece of that, and Kate manages to take that player out. No call by the refs. I think that was an appropriate little bit of a check there. Puck gets centered. Weigel collects, maneuvering her way up the ice, past the red line, backhanded, chips it to the far corner. We've got a line change now. Huseman waiting in front of the net. Oh, and Hastings interrupts that pass. Saliga gets a piece of it now. Chips it cross ice to Beckwith. Beckwith maneuvering up the ice, gets tripped, no call there. Smith in the zone, sends it. It's on net. Oh, no, not quite. It's behind the net. A little tough to see from this far back. Smith, another shot, gets blocked. She ends up on the boards. Smith still controlling the puck. Oh, tried to shoot there. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite connect there. Puck comes back out into the zone. Beckwith over to Saliga. Saliga to Koslak. Oh, Hastings got a piece of it, but interrupted. Hastings controlling the puck. Beckwith with a nice stick. Puck comes out to Quant, now to Koslak, to Smith, up to Quant. Quant making her way, dumps it to the corner. We're shifting lines a little funny here. I'm trying to keep up with it. Costain, I think, with a shot on net. That gets stopped by the Raiders tender. I know the coaches are strategizing to come out hot tonight, so I think they're shifting lines a little funny here, so I'm trying to keep up with it. Erickson at the draw now. Erickson over to the corner. Koslak picks it up. Over to Quant. Erickson behind the net, wraps it around the boards, and Weigel racing to get there. She picks it up in our zone, sends it back up the ice. Erickson gets a piece of it. Erickson looking for Costain, bounces off the boards. Now back to Erickson. Costain trying to control the puck, ends up with Quant over to Weigel. We're behind the net. Erickson picks it up, pass at center ice. And here comes Costain with a nice back check. Hastings trying to center. Weigel gets a hold of it now, and she's maneuvering up the middle. Hastings with some room, interrupted by Costain. And Koslak now battling with Erickson. They got Hastings got offside on that one. Looks like we've got Lunenburg at the draw here. Eilertson on wing. We got the Eilertson sandwich line. Saliga and Beckwith on D. Ref's not happy about this setup for some reason here. We'll see what he's trying to get the girls lined up. Puck comes back to Claire. Claire to Beckwith. Beckwith trying to chip this puck out. Eilertson gets a piece of it. Still battling here just inside the blue line. Lunenburg sends it over to Claire. Claire off the boards. Claire up the middle, looking for Lunenburg. Lunenburg collects, she's up the middle to Kate. Kate sends it on net, that gets deflected. Puck comes back to Beckwith, she chips it in. Eilertson with a fancy maneuver. Puck comes out to the neutral zone, and now Lunenburg controlling the puck off the board. She gets through past the blue line. Lunenburg with a shot, looking for a pass over to Claire. Claire on the boards now. Lunenburg back to Saliga. Saliga dumps it in. Lots of quick line changes happening out there, so we'll try to keep in line with the activity on the ice. Looks like we've got Emily Quant taking the face off. Smith right in front of the net, interrupted there by Hastings, comes back. And Hastings collects in the far corner. Hastings off the board. Weigel now trying to chip it in. Huseman sends it. That got broken up by Hastings. Quant on the boards. Smith controlling the puck. Centers to Huseman. That's too much traffic there for her to make a shot. And Hastings player takes, I'm not sure who that was, somebody out on the boards there. Hastings chips it out. Here comes Riley. Riley on the boards, takes it behind the net. Over to Weigel. Bailey looking for a move. She finds some space. She's headed up the ice. Past the blue line now, going wide, taking it behind the net. Weigel centering, backhanded. That gets broken up by Raiders. They send it behind the net, up to their wing. Pass. Little open space there. Spartacats ripped that one towards, I think that was Huseman, took a shot, went a little wide. Puck gets centered, Hastings gets a piece of it. Here comes Koslak off the bench. Costain now chasing behind the net. Hastings passes up. Erickson, hot off the bench. She's battling there. Gets the puck to Beckwith. Beckwith now puts the brakes on behind the net. She's getting chased by a Hastings player. Erickson pinching off the Raiders player now. Gosh, that actually went on net, and Koslak hot on the chase. Hastings collects. Back to Beckwith. Oh no, puck slips through. Quant on the move up the ice. Hastings wraps it back around to Costain. Erickson coming in to help. Hastings collects in the slot. That gets interrupted by Quant. Hastings on the boards with Riley Quant. Erickson comes in to help out. She chips it off the boards over to Koslak. Koslak off the boards. Manages to clear the puck. Hastings collects. Koslak battling to try to get a piece of that as we take a line change. Hastings controlling. They looking to pass Fan on that one. And now Claire Eilertson sends it to Kate. Shot. That gets blocked. I think that's Quant there on the point. Claire back to Weigel. Weigel up to Claire. Claire. Shot. And goalie's going to swallow that one up. Looks like we're taking a goaltender change here on the Spartacats side. We had Anna Reek in the net and Hughes heading in with her reflective helmet into the net. 6:57 on the clock. Lunenburg takes that face off. Puck comes back to the point. Hastings chasing, but looks like Riley Quant will get there first. Riley passes up to Claire. Claire up to Lunenburg, interrupted by Hastings. Lunenburg passes over to Kate. Kate looking for the pass to Lunenburg. She chips it over to Claire. Lunenburg shot. Goalie saves that one and manages to leave a rebound, but we couldn't quite pick that one up. Here comes Weigel to send it towards the net. That goes a little wide. Hastings flip it back. Lunenburg on the boards. Keeps it in. Nope, passes it back to Saliga. Saliga past the red line. We'll take a line change. She's taking out some players there. Oh boy, there's a lot of people just flying around. Claire sends it to the net. Goalie deflects that one off to the far corner. Beckwith now just inside the blue line. She's got Quant there helping her out. Beckwith is tied up on the boards with 5:44 on the clock. Puck comes out. Beckwith gets a hold of it. Beckwith, nice cross-ice pass to Huseman. Huseman rips it to the net. Ends up behind, collected by Hastings. Hastings up the middle. Beckwith is there with her eye on the prize, and she manages to deflect that puck. Hughes gets a piece of that. Quant passes up to her sister. And we're battling on the boards here. Girls go down. Hastings comes away with it. They center the puck. Smith gets a piece of that to try to chip that out. Puck gets sent back toward the net. It goes wide. And here comes Quant. And Quant, it's a Quant sandwich. Hastings just in front of the net. It's sliding around. They send it back. Another one. Hughes makes a save. Puck is just flying in front of the crease, and Hughes just all over the place, sliding back and forth. Finally, Spartacats clear. We end up in the far corner. Hastings behind their own net. They pass up. Weigels gets there. She sends it over to Saliga. Saliga gets interrupted. Hastings on the way back. Here comes Erickson to take. Oh, Erickson gets a penalty. That's exactly the thing I told her not to do. Well, shoot. I'd like to say something else, but dang. Ah, there goes the bird to the box. That better not cost her. Do we got a replay on that or no? All right, so my kid ends up in the box. Disappointing. Hastings Raiders with a power play. Literally said to her, hey, be physical, but let's not be in the box. Shoot. Costain at the face-off here. Puck is just flying around. Comes out to the point. That player loses it. Hastings dumps it back. Here comes Weigel. Weigel on the way up the ice. I'd like to see a little shorthanded goal here for Bailey. Hastings interrupts. Girls recollect themselves. And that's Koslak there, getting a piece of that puck, manages to drive it back deeper into the zone as Hastings picks it up at behind the net. Saliga now sends it back. And puck comes back. Weigel collects in the neutral zone. And she'll just play a little bit of keep away here. Bounces it off the boards up to Costain. Hastings finally get a piece of it. Now it's a race. Weigel is there. They send it. That ends up behind the net. Hughes is there to block. Quant off the bench. And passes up to Costain. Costain will try to block this on the boards here. She gets tangled up. Here comes Koslak to help out. Hastings gets through. Hastings on the boards. They're trying to center, and Hughes is going to stop that one. Spartacats managed to eat up a lot of this penalty here, but we'll have an in-zone face-off with 17 seconds on the board. 3:08 on the clock. Claire Eilertson taking the face-off. It comes out to the point. Lunenburg chasing. Hastings sends it back, trying to center. Claire Eilertson being enough of a nuisance. Now Beckwith tries to clear. She gets taken out. That'll be a penalty now on the Raiders, and the Raiders not happy about that. Number 34 there, slamming her stick a little bit. Not happy about that call from the refs. And so that'll even things up here for about 4 seconds. We'll take a offensive zone face-off for the Cats with 4 seconds, 4-on-4 play, and now and then a minute and 20-some for power play. Lunenburg taking the face-off, chips it back. Hastings gets a piece of it. Now Spartacats full strength. Erickson off the bench. She's trying to get there as fast as she can, and looks like Kate Eilertson comes off, picks the puck up at center ice. Passes over to Quant. Hastings breaks that up. Claire looking for a pass to Kate. Kate trying to maneuver through. Hastings gets a piece of that. We're still in the zone. Back to neutral. Here comes Beckwith. Dumps it to the corner. Spartacats on a power play here. Behind the net. Claire sitting in front of the net if we can get it to her. She's a lonely soldier out here. Let's make a pass. Oh, and that gets broken out there by Hastings on their way back up the ice. Let's see if we can get a piece of this. We end up in the far corner with Beckwith, and now Lunenburg collects. Lunenburg passes up to Claire. Claire looking for the long pass. Unfortunately, Hastings interrupted that. Saliga sends it up the ice. Claire gets a piece of it. Lunenburg with some room now. That gets broken up. Line change. Claire Eilertson. And now Hastings on the way back, collected by Quant. Quant up to her sister. Weigel pick it up on the far side. Both teams full strength now. Missed our power play opportunity, and Hastings collects behind the net. They chip it up to Quant. Quant off the boards. Puck comes back behind the Spartacat zone, and here comes Weigel to pick it up on the far side. Weigel chips it up to Smith. Nope, that gets dumped back by the Raiders. Emily Quant. That girl was no match for the Quants. Huseman now with some room, dumps it to Emily. She gets taken out. No call on that. That should have been a tripping call there. We did get a shot. I think it went a little wider. The goalie got a piece of it, so we'll end up behind the net. Hastings ship it up. Here comes Quant to collect. Riley maneuvering, sends it up. And we'll get a whistle here. I think Hastings get offsides. Just 23 seconds left on the clock now. We told the girls to come out hot and heavy. I feel like they've been controlling the play. We don't have a shots on goal counter. So can't tell you what's happening really with the shots on goal. Erickson now taking the draw. Hastings chip it up. Here comes Erickson with the back check, and Beckwith chips it up to Costain. Costain with a little bit of room. Costain to Koslak. That gets broken up by Hastings. And that'll be the end of this first period. So let's hope the Spartacats can rip one in here at the beginning of the second. I'm gonna walk around and see if I can find a better shot. This is a horrible angle. Okay, folks, ready to kick off the second period here. No such luck on getting a better angle. Hastings took a shot there, goes wide. Puck comes back. Hastings collects behind their own zone. We've got Costain chasing the puck. Beckwith and Erickson looking for a back check. Erickson picks up that. She's not having any of that. Erickson still chasing the puck there. Manages to interrupt Hastings. Puck flies back to the far side. Pass up to Costain. Costain, nope, loses it to Hastings. Erickson trying to chip it deeper into the zone. Hastings comes back. Weigel now controlling the puck. Weigel maneuvering, goes wide at the circle, takes it behind the net. She gets tied up with Hastings. Here comes Kate to help out. Kate tangled up in the corner. And Lunenburg now chasing the puck to the far corner. Claire and Lunenburg. Claire chips it out. That ends up back in the corner again. Lunenburg now controlling the puck. On the near side, puck comes back. Claire now getting tangled up. Lunenburg comes away with it. Off the boards. Lunenburg gets taken out. Kate comes in to help out. Puck is shipped out to Quant. Quant rips it to the net. That's wide. Hastings chips it off the boards. That just flies past Weigel there, and now Kate Eilertson will get there first. Take it behind the net, around the boards. Kate off the boards. Gets tangled up. Here comes Weigel to help out. Bailey maneuvering up center ice. Bailey gets through. Bailey shot. Oh, shoot. She couldn't get enough of the piece of that puck. Oh, if she could have just lined that one up, that would have sunk it. Goalie stopped that one. All right, so we'll take an in zone face off here. Quan at the draw. Chips it back, and Hastings on the way up. Hastings interrupted by Huseman, I believe. Saliga chips it off the boards. Out, here comes Quant. Quant gets through. Oh, loses an edge before she can take a shot. We end up behind the net. That's going to be a call. Looks like it's going to be a tripping call. So good job, Emily, on drawing that one. Hastings headed to the box. Spartacats on a power play. Quant wins the puck drop back to Beckwith. Shot, that goes wide of the net here, and Smith battling behind the net with Emily Quant. Emily Quant, it's in front of the net! Get it! Oh, what is, the net's off. Everybody's always so disappointed when that happens. But as a goalie parent, I hate to see when the net's off, right? You want the whistle blown as quickly as possible, but in this case, it would have been nice to sink one in there. Still have a minute 14 on the power play clock. Erickson at the draw. Hastings on the way back now. They've got Costain hot on the trail with Beckwith. Beckwith cross ice pass to Saliga. Saliga off the boards. She finds the puck. Gets taken up by Hastings, and now Erickson back checking. Can she get there? Hastings rips one to the net, and Reek gets a piece of that one. A little bit of awkward fall back for her, but long as she kept it out of the net. Here comes Costain now, hot off the, and Erickson to get a piece of it. Weigel on the boards with Costain. Costain maneuvering through, she gets tripped. That'll be another call on Hastings. Hastings will end up with 2 players in the box here for 36 seconds. And Spartacats will get a 5-on-3. All right, they got to put one in the back of the net here. So 5-on-3 power play here for 30 seconds, and then we'll still have 5-on-4 for a minute. All right, so we've got, looks like Lunenburg taking the draw with the Eilertson sandwich. Weigel on D with Quan, and that comes back out into the Spartacat zone, and Quant chasing that puck. Quant chips it up. Hastings did a good job of getting that one cleared really quickly. Claire controlling the puck behind the net. Sends it up, looking for Lunenburg. Bounces it off the boards, collected by Hastings. They chip it back. Now Quant trying to send it on net. That goes wide. Lunenburg chasing. Lunenburg. Centers couldn't quite connect there with the Eilertson sisters. And now Quant on the blue line gets offside. Spartacats will take a line change here as now we're 5-on-4. Quant taking the face-off. Smith, Huseman on wing. Quant at the draw. Huseman trying to get a piece of it. Quant now maneuvering through into the slot to Smith. Smith, oh, tries to spin around and take a shot. That goes wide. Here comes Beckwith to pick the puck up. Centers to Smith. She got a piece of that, but it just bounced up around the net. And Quant sisters now battling. Hastings chip it out. Beckwith in the neutral zone, looking for a pass, sends it over to Quant. She rips it up to Smith. That gets picked off by Hastings. And that will expire the power play. Back shot goes wide by Beckwith from just inside the blue. Quant on the blue line to Huseman. Huseman trying to send one. That gets blocked by Raiders. Now Saliga sends it back to Beckwith, I believe. That gets chipped forward by the Cats, and that's offside. .9:38 on the clock. Erickson now taking the face-off with Costain and Kolsak. Kolsak comes away with it after the draw. Ends up in the corner, and Scholl collects. Trying to send her to Erickson. Oh, Erickson now shot. Oh, goes wide. Kolsak collects. She gets taken out on the boards. Here comes Erickson to help out. Quant sends it back in. Raiders controlling the puck, send it up the boards. Pass up. Weigel gets a hold of it. Weigel passes up to Costain. And Raiders send it back. Erickson, a little bit of a trip there. I think that was on Weigel's stick. I believe that's an offside whistle there for the Raiders. 8:51 on the clock. Spartacats got to get on the board here. I'd like to see them get on the board first. For those of you watching at home, the girls, if they come away with a win tonight, when they come away with a win tonight, they would face off in the championship, and that would put them into the regional playoff. So if they, for some reason, Hastings comes up ahead, we would still have one more game. So season's not quite over yet. Girls got to battle tonight. Battling just inside the blue line. Kate Eilertson controlling the puck here off the boards. Hastings interrupts, and they manage to chip it back. That ends up with an icing call. Lunenburg at the face-off. To the corner, Eilertson on the chase. Lunenburg loses it back to Hastings, and there, oh gosh, they picked that puck up. Here comes Claire Eilertson with a nice back check. Hastings send it back to the point, rip it, blocked by Lunenburg, and now she gets that puck out. Not enough juice to chase it, but that's all right. She needs a line change. Puck comes back to neutral. Claire now trying to control the puck. Quant gets a piece of it. Quant racing. Hastings gets there, wraps it around the boards. Hastings chip it back. Quant keeps it in. Quant sisters battling. Smith now back to Weigel. Weigel to Huseman. He's wants some room here. Huseman sends it on net, and the tender is going to deflect that one. Quant rips one. Oh, and that hit the post. So close. Weigel back to Huseman. Huseman sends it up to Quant. Quant sends another one. That hit the goalie in the mess. Hey, that goalie's tripping people. Hey, watch that goalie. Sorry, folks, goalie got her stick out there, tripping a couple players. I hate to see that, too. Weigel with a lot of room. Weigel and Smith trying to stay on sides. Weigel, she gets hooked and come on. Thank you, and they're going to call that one. They called it a slashing. Probably should have been hooking on that one. We're getting a little rough here as the tender has got her stick out all over the place and tripping folks. Spartacats on another power play, as I think Hastings looks like maybe they're getting a little frustrated here. Erickson at the draw. Erickson chips it back to the corner to Costain, and now Costain on the boards battling. Here comes Erickson to help out. Oh, I usually don't get this view. This is kind of fun. Erickson poking this puck. She gets it, almost tripped, takes it back behind the net. She's looking for a pass, sends it back to the point. Here comes Beckwith now. Beckwith off the boards, back to Erickson. Erickson, oh, lost the puck to Hastings. And now Smith battling. Puck gets out. It's in front of the crease. Shot, nope, broken up by Spartacats. That gets passed up to Costain, and she's got some speed. Come on, Stella. Oh, swallowed up by the tender. .53 seconds left on this power play for the Cats, and 6:05 on the clock here in the second period. Lunenburg headed to the circle here to take the face off. Lunenburg is tangled up, gets it back, chips it to Quant. Quant back to Weigel. Weigel looking for a move. Weigel finding some ice shot. That gets saved. Another shot saved by Hastings. Now they're on their way back. They pass up into the neutral zone, and Hastings trying to control. Looks like Lunenburg collects. No, Eilertson to Lunenburg. Lunenburg maneuvering up the ice. Lunenburg with her speed. Back behind the net. Lunenburg looks a little hungry here. I think she's looking for the back of the net. Eilertson interrupts that one. Now Kate on the boards finds the puck, trying to center. She gets a shot. Tender swallows that one. That was a shot from almost behind the red line there for Kate. 7 seconds left on this power play. The Cats battling to try to get on the board first. Still a 0-0 score. I'm sure you guys can see that on the counter. Emily Quant taking the face off. Emily Quant battling, chips it forward, ends up behind the net. She'll collect that one, trying to wrap it around. Hastings get a piece of it. And Hastings maneuvering back. They pass up the middle. Oh, shot on net, saved by Hughes. Puck comes back to Quant, interrupted by Raiders at center ice, and Smith chasing this. They're trying to pass, it's in front of the net. Claire collects after the face-off.